Hi, good afternoon everyone. This right here is the city of Mersin, and it's a city of over 1 million people that I had never heard of before, and maybe you hadn't either. And it's a long stretch of real estate along the south coast, along the Mediterranean Sea here in Turkey. And today I met Ahmed. And where do you live, Ahmed?
I live in Silifke'de yaşıyorum. On the area what I called Meydan, you can see Five Finger Mountains in Cyprus.
And that's why I'm here too. I'm here to take the ferry south to Cyprus. So let's go.
Bye bye.
So I'm still in Mersin, on the way to the ferry now, and I found this really strange square. It's a square celebrating the 100-year existence of the Beşiktaş football club, a football club from Istanbul, which is on the other side of the country. But that's not the only weird thing here. There's a stoa of columns over here, and they look broken, but they are definitely not old, so they're like fake ruins standing around this square. What a strange place. Really tacky, I love it. Anyway, enough walking. Turkey doesn't really allow taxi apps. There's one that works in Ankara and Istanbul that's officially sanctioned, although it never really works in Istanbul. But at least they have these things tied to a tree, so that should make a taxi show up. Let's see. And the region of Mersin is known for several foods you can find all around Turkey, like the tantuni, meat-filled wrap of lavash bread. I've had that before, but what I haven't had before is this şalgam suyu, and it's a fermented carrot drink, which sounds very interesting to me. So let's go and try some of this. It doesn't smell too pungent or anything. Ooh, that is really sour though. That is not my favorite thing. It's a little bit spicy, which I like, but it's a bit too sour for me. I do like the slightly stingy feeling it leaves in the back of the throat, a bit like ginger would. And look, in the cup there are 2 carrots remaining after I drank all of it. I'm not sure if you're supposed to eat these, but of course I'm going to try anyway. Not great. I think I'm going to leave them actually. Anyway, enough walking. Turkey doesn't really allow taxi apps. There's one that works in Ankara and Istanbul that's officially sanctioned, although it never really works in Istanbul. But at least they have these things tied to a tree, so that should make a taxi show up. Let's see. Well, it did. So the ferry port used to be somewhere around here. So I managed to get my ticket to get into northern Cyprus. I needed both COVID test and a proof of vaccination. If I didn't have either of those, I'd have to go in quarantine. Luckily I have both, so I can go without quarantine to northern Cyprus. Made it to the ship finally. It's another one of those mixed cargo and passenger vessels. So the entrance is a bit sketchy, just like the ferry I took from Ukraine to Portia. Let's not fall in the water here. This is the kind of narrow stairwell to climb to get to the upper deck. I barely fit through my backpack on me, but it's alright. Let's see what the passenger deck is like. We haven't left yet, so now we can have a look at the port of Mersin at night. It seems to be a very big industrial port as well. You can see ships getting loaded, getting unloaded. See big crane unloading the ship over there, stuff being loaded on trucks. Pretty cool to look at. On this side of the ship there seems to be some dredging going on. Port deepening the waters probably, so ships can pass through better. It's always an interesting vibe in an industrial port like this, between all the heavy and loud machines doing their job all around me. Very cool vibe. We're about to leave. There really isn't much to the passenger room here in this ship. It's just this area. It's a bit like a cinema, very old cinema. So that's all there is. There is one luxury on board this ship, and that's in here, in the canteen. Kettle, Turkish tea, so let's get some.
Gerçekten Giresun takımı, Giresun kulübü çok değerli bir iş yaptı orada. O kadar teknik adam gözlerini sahip mi?
Beşiktaş'ın kombini yalnız verirsek şimdi
There we go. Nice hot cup Turkish tea. This line of light down the middle there, that is Turkey. Finally leaving port, finally leaving Turkey after having spent 2 months there. And it looks absolutely beautiful in the night. All the lights of the port, especially up close, as you can see here on my other camera. It's so beautiful. Well, that was one rather uncomfortable night, sleeping on these chairs that are designed not to let anyone sleep in them. So at least we are nearly there now. Really close, we can see Cyprus already. The water is such a beautiful shade of blue. I made it, boots on Cypriot ground. Now let's make it to customs and get into this town right here called Magusha or Famagusta. Here you can see both the flags of Turkey and the flag of the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus waving next to each other after a coup by Greek unionists, people who wanted Cyprus to join Greece. The Turkish army invaded part of Cyprus to prevent this, and the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus has been independent de facto ever since, even though it's only recognized by one country, and that's of course Turkey. Here you can see a monument and a graveyard. I think they are dedicated to events of this time, but I'm not sure because the signs, they are not in English. This ruin right here, flanked by palm trees, is the ruin of the church of Saint Andrew of the Greeks, who was built in the 14th century. Let's go have a look. It's completely empty inside and the roof's gone, letting in a lot of scorching sunlight, because even though it's the end of November, it's still pretty warm out here. Must have been an imposing building with this sand colored stone back in its day. This arch is still standing. And this annex, I've been told, was where the bishopric of Cyprus would have resided in the medieval times. Not anymore. And over here we've got a building that I appreciate even more than St. Andrew's Church. I'm sorry, St. Andrew, but this is really more my style. A beautiful retro futurist kind of facade, American modernism. It's even got the red, white and blue lights going on over there on the sign. Down here is the ticket counter, but I don't think they are selling anymore. But no ticket shouldn't stop us from getting in, should it? I climbed inside the cinema a bit, and if we look between the palm fronds, you can see the old silver screen. It's not very silver anymore, more a broken white plaster, but it's really cool. It was an outdoor cinema and it makes a lot of sense in this very sunny place. Projector would have been inside this building. People could have sat all over this area here and looked at whatever movie would have been on at the time. Maybe the first ever James Bond. Inside there's a big suitcase full of miscellaneous junk, all kinds of stuff in there. And up there there's still a couple of Turkish tea glasses ready to be served up, some spoons as well. And over here, this seems to be an old poster selling soda, I think. Such a retro place, I love it. This door is unfortunately sealed pretty well, but it's so cool to have a look at this very old school and retro cinema, and the palm trees add an especially exotic look too. Really cool place to explore for a little while. The most prominent feature of this town of Famagusta, or Magusha, whatever you want to call it, I noticed right away when I arrived on the ship, is this old church. This slightly ruined old church. Or so I thought. It's not actually a church. It's been turned into a mosque. Just listen to this. Well, that was definitely the first time I heard the azan, the call to prayer, come from what was so obviously at one point a Catholic church. For this video I am done with Famagusta, but I'll be back next week, next Sunday, with another video from here on the once booming resort town of Varosha, right next to here. Once it was a place with many hotels, British investment money was plentiful, but now it's a completely abandoned ghost town. So I hope to see you for the next video next Sunday in Varosha.